Alright guys, yeah, so got another beer review which I was not planning on doing, but I've just been drinking Jackhammer from Brewdog, and it's just, what have they done to that beer? Seriously, it's just not uh, tasting anywhere near as good as it was when I first started drinking it, and that's actually the first time I'm having it in bottle. But thankfully, got another Brewdog beer which I bought from the same supermarket, and it's the Defiant Double IPA known as Mr. President. Now, I was always under the assumption that Jackhammer, obviously like the core double IPA sort of thing, Tesco's had it as like the American IPA. It was like licensed, whatever. I don't know what the ingredient was, but I was always under the impression that it was pretty much the same beer. And then they started to brew like Mr. President, which is, I don't know, I don't know the story of this. So I'm not going to make any presumptions or anything like that. But yeah, is this just going to be the same beer, just higher ABV? Maybe I don't know. Um, it's got to be better than Jackhammer. I mean, I used to buy Jackhammer pretty much every time I went to a Brewdog bar, and that to me just is not tasting good at all. So hopefully this will taste considerably better. So, Defiant Double IPA, 9.5 is that? Can't see because it's been like rubbed off. Best for date is the 5th of the 8th, 2018. And yeah, Mr. President, eh? I'm sure a lot of people would like to take a jackhammer to Mr. President, if you know what I mean. But we won't turn this into a socio-political debate. Because God knows we've seen so much fucking gender politics when it comes to beer on some of the groups. Yeah, got myself into quite the conversation on one of the popular craft beer groups on Facebook. Yeah, someone pulled the privilege card on me because I'm a heterosexual Caucasian male, and that ultimately means that you can't have an opinion on anything else, apparently. But again, we're not going to turn this into a socio-political diatribe. It's just about beer, and that's what it should be. Men like beer, women like beer, people from different ethnic backgrounds like beer, some people from different religious backgrounds like beer. Let's just stop politicising every fucking aspect of our lives, please. And if we do it, don't start throwing cards about and playing the victim and using horrendous terminology just because you don't like someone else's opinion. Can we just sit down, enjoy beer, talk about it? Please? I just don't understand where society is going. But again, we're not going to be talking about socio-political aspects on a beer review. Anyway, beer in a glass, and that is a lovely sort of chestnutty, chestnutty ruby sort of beer, to be honest. Not completely clear, and there is a tiny bit of chill haze. Well, actually, yeah, when Dickhead he actually wipes off the chill haze from the glass, it is quite a clear beer, as you would expect from a lot of the Brewdog beers. Beer poured with initially about one finger's worth of slightly off-white head. But yeah, that looks really, really nice. So already I'm seeing differences, and I'm going to be getting fresh bottles of each to do like a comparison video, although don't think it's worth doing that now. Anyway, so it looks nice. Let's see what we get on the aroma. It's very sweet. Loads of sweet malt character. Caramel malts. Big hint of like grapefruit juice in there. It's got that slight piney, oily, resiny sort of character. And you know what? For a beer that's, again, making the comparisons, which I know I shouldn't, But the jackhammer's like 7 point something percent. This is 9.2%. You're getting the alcohol a lot more on the aroma on the jackhammer. This, it's not boozy at all. It's just lovely and sweet, slightly zesty. Slight nutty character. That smells really, really nice. So let's see. Yeah, maybe even a bit of chocolate as well. Anyway, it smells good. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. Oh, that's lovely. That's absolutely lovely. Perfect fucking remedy for this. And you know what? This is 9 point something percent because I don't know because it's rubbed off on the bottle. You're not getting that alcohol. There's no booziness. Slightest warmth going down. The alcohol and the malt build leads to a slightly bolder body, as you would expect. Carbonation is nice, cuts through that perfectly. Loads of berry tones in this one, like cranberries, cherries, maybe even a hint of raspberry. It's backed up with some very nice subtle chocolatey caramel malt characters. You do get the oils and the resins and like that slight pininess, but it's not as like arrogant or as in your face as the jackhammer. And you would probably expect that, yeah, the other way round. And I'm sorry that I keep making comparisons to that beer, but I've just reviewed that beer. You will have probably seen it by now. If not, then check out the Brewdog playlist, of course. But I gave that like one of the lowest scores that I've given for quite a while for a beer, especially a craft beer, at 3.5 out of 5, out of 10. This is like complete polar opposite. So easy drinking. This actually tastes to me like an amped up and mature version of like Elvis juice, because you get a lovely grapefruit character coming out of this one. Yeah, Mr. President, that's absolutely lovely. Maybe even some slight licorice flavours coming through. A Defiant Double IPA. Yeah, that's really, really nice. Got a nice slight chewiness to it as well. Yeah, I'm more than impressed with that one. I'm going to give that one a very strong 8 out of 10. Can't pick up too many faults from it. I think in this day and age with craft beer, it does sort of, it's not in the background, but there are much more domineering voices out there. But I just love how the alcohol's masked in this one. You know, it's approaching 10% and you would not think it. You really, really wouldn't. You know, actually, I'm going to give that a 9. I think that deserves a 9. It's not perfect by any stretch, but it's still really nice. And the fact that you can get that for £2.30 a bottle in the supermarket, yeah, you really can't go wrong. Jackhammer, on the other hand, I'm not angry, I'm disappointed, because Jackhammer was one that I used to get loads when I was when I go to Brewdog bars. Although I found going to Brewdog bars now, I'm slowly starting to wean myself off core range at Brewdog bars and concentrating more on guest beers or seasonals or limited releases. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. If you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. Are you a fan of Brewdog? I know they sometimes have questionable business decisions and some of the personalities within the organisation, just leave it at that, can rub people up the wrong way, but I think they still do consistently good beers. Is the core range as good as it used to be? That's for you to decide. For me personally, as long as they don't fuck around with Elvis juice, even though I think they might be replacing that with that tangerine prototype beer, then I'm happy, because Elvis juice is love, Elvis juice is life. And Brewdog are a brewery that I think they still deliver. And I'm actually resting my beer on my gut, so I'm going to cut this video off there. So if any of my friends and fellow beer tubers have reviewed this one, then links will be down below. Check out my double IPA playlist, check out my Brewdog playlist, check out Brewdog of course, and more importantly, I hope you'll join me next time for another beer review, where I promise we won't get into the socio-political fabric of society every 2 minutes. And Mr. President, this time I salute you. Or should I take a knee? Should I stand? I don't know. It's a tricky situation right now. Anyway, I could go on, but this video is going to be huge. See you guys later. I'm a fucking twat, aren't I? Jesus.